So, hello. You know what it is, Fundamental Secrets. We're gonna be talking about a different ideology for which people do not understand altogether. I went to church today, Bible study, and it taught me a lot. I was speaking in tongues and stuff, and I was feeling the presence of the Holy Spirit. That just sometimes it feels like when there's too many people in church, they kind of make it embarrassing for me, but not in a bad way. I like the church to feel normal, just casual, not make it feel all mumbo jumbo or gooey or cartoony. It just makes it feel so cringy when that happens. But let's talk about dating, the dating pool, whatever you call it, the mumbo jumbo, inspired from all these, like, all of it connects. The dating pickup artist game, The Secret, positive affirmations, all of it clicks all together. It all is just part of one big zero factorial system. Zero factorial becomes one, but it only has rigidity because it can only stay in one form. Yeah, it might go back in between 0 and 1, but 0 is nothing. So, what do you do when you're nothing and you become something and then become nothing again? That's the problem. But here we're talking about when 0 factorial becomes 1, and then 1 appears with a factorial becomes 1 again. That's a stretchy one. One with an axis. One direction. Where does it go? Well, who knows? It just goes in a way that you can't really describe. But it's beautiful how to think about it. If you pay attention to the politics of relationships and family and dating and friendships, it all is just this big pack of wolves. Sometimes, not always. It depends which group you're in. As the groups I'm in, it all functions as who's ever the leader, whoever makes the decisions, who is better at everything, who can outthink everyone. Just so rigid, But that's the problem. People only think that way because they only think that one way. They don't think outside of the box or outside of the territory that they're in, outside of the labyrinth. How do you escape the labyrinth? You can't just escape the labyrinth by exiting the labyrinth. There's more. The enemies of men are after you, and you have to escape. You have to find the Book of Leaves again. You have to build the machine. You have to destroy the Ottomans. I don't know. It's complicated as Da Vinci, trying to figure out the whole perception filter. But, just like this, when you go from 0 factorial to 1 factorial, both add up to 2, which is 2 factorial equals 2. But because there's an offset and you have to look back, because there's 2, you look at 2 items. And 2 items are 1 factorial and 2 factorial become 3 factorial. But you don't see that yet. You're still bouncing in between 0, 1, and 2 constantly. And that's a system. That's an ancient system. A noble system that is negentropy. It's the opposite of entropy that our computers and devices use today. It's a whole nother system. Yeah, the fundamental building blocks of the universe are still in it, but it has a different focus, a different implementation. But, here's the case. I don't have to talk about all that shit. It's a nerd shit. You don't have to hear the nerd shit. You're gonna hear the basketball game highlights, the football matches, the soccer movements, and put a check mark on all of it. Just to see if you got the pass, you got the win, you got the shot. So If you're really after something, it's not just about going for it. It's not just about thinking about it. It's strategy. You have to be strategic. When you forget about strategy, you lose the game. And then you have to think the strategy of strategy. Not just think about it, do it. You have to actually implement this like a sport. But the sport isn't a game. It's something else. It's when you create walls in a sport, you create it as competitive, but when there's no walls and you just have transparency and more, then you see the game as more than what it is, and it's not even a game anymore. It becomes a Hubble space. But that's how it should be when you're talking to girls or guys. When you talk to a girl, just think of their mind like a meditation box. They're thinking one thing, and then the idea is similar in their head. They move in like a sine wave or periodic waveforms that make them think something similar to what that is, and adjunct periodically distort the lens that they're seeing so they can hold back and progress in that form and then move to the next form. Always a form of betterment through hypergamy, through which is more. It's not even hypergamy. That's what men call it. It's a highly dedicated system of love, but it's not just love. Love is not the answer either. Love is not the biggest thing in the world. It's a solution to a big problem in reversing the polarity of the neutron flow, but it's not enough. You have to actually face the enemies in battle. Face the Daleks, face the Cybermen, face the Suntarans, but be wise and credible. Don't try to hold weapons against people that. Yeah, there might be casualties in war, but it's a process. But think about it this way: if you're gonna go to a bar and approach a girl, just have the intention of purity. Like, don't just try to get in, like, selfishly think that you're gonna get something that you're not gonna get, because you're already holding yourself to a fake approval system where just the way you're talking is gonna have a pending approval from a person, be it a man or a female, because men and female act really similar nowadays. They're like toughly alike. Men are going through the same thing women went through in the past, where they have to be shut up and women get to take control, unless you're a man that can actually do what you do. But when women stand up for men, it makes it harder for men to stand up for other men. So men have to be in their circle, toughening up in their own way. And that's why I introduced the beta archetype. Because the beta archetype is the weakness. It is weak. But it's a weak force applied through science. The weak force can be a strength. You have to see the weakness as strength. You have to dive deep into the egg, deep into the waters, just to get out fresh and stronger than before. It's a weakness system in training. You're training your muscles to deliberately feel the tear in the differential markers in your body. And each tear is not going to get you where you need to go right away. The mental tears either. You can't just tear your brain up over and over again until you think it will get stronger, because it won't. I've tried that for years when I was younger. It never got me anywhere. And look where I am now. Poor, no job, no girl. I'm just here suffering. And I'm not an incel. I'm not a white knight. Actually, yeah, I might be respectful, but I also have the characteristics of a player. So have the characteristics of a... When I say player, I don't mean literal player. I say a player that plays a game of life. It's not just about romance. It's about work. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about more than that. So it's a complicated system. So, but I don't even need to write a book, because this is my podcast that I introduce every day, and doing it off my new phone. So it actually feels better. This is my outlet. So When I have all day of all the stress, I just release it all here in a good way. And just so you know, when I was at church and I was experiencing the Holy Ghost, I was feeling that electricity, that earthquake, that feeling of God smiting you. I felt it in my body, and it felt incredible. It felt like a jolt. It felt like fire. It felt like warmth. It felt like light. And I feel it so weakenly because I'm not as strong as I thought. And that's the thing about being in beta. Your weakness is your strength, so you have to use the weakness as strength. If you're afraid of talking to God, or you don't want to talk to God because you feel like what you'll say is selfish and he'll be mad at you, just say all the selfish things you need to say to God. All of it. He's going to hear you out. And that's what a lot of Christians do. But be careful with your religion. Don't use it to treat other people with disrespect. Even though I go to a certain church, that doesn't mean I follow all the protocols that the church tells me. I'm not just a sheep that follows the crowd, that follows the wolves, you know. But I'm a man of science, not of faith, mostly. So even though I am religious, in a sense, I'm more of a man of science. I think religion is a little bit tough because you literally take things as alpha credibility, alpha to a degree that is too boxed in, to the point if somebody does something or says something to you, you'll instantly get mad and biased and unresultful, which millions of people on this planet go through, because the biggest religions on the planet are Islam, Christianity, and Muslim religion. But religion isn't the problem necessarily. It's just because there's a lot of Christians that are nice and respectful, but be honest, like, just because someone shows a nice face doesn't mean that they are being nice. And just because they are being nice or not being nice doesn't mean that's actually who they are. Because every person is different. Every person is similar. Because we're fragments of each other. We're all similar in a scope or 2 or 3. So pay attention. And let's run a simulation for how conversation in a bar would go. Like, there's a girl sitting down. I don't approach her right away. I overhear a conversation, insert myself into the conversation. I'm like, oh, that's crazy, huh? Like, I never knew that drink was so smelly. It smells so alcoholic. She's like, oh, really? So you weren't paying attention? Yeah, that drink is really, really, like, sour to the taste and smell. And I'd be like, yeah. You want to buy me one? Just kidding. You don't have to. But I don't even have to say that. I'd just be like, it's actually harder to say this on camera because I'm putting up a front. So yeah, that makes sense. I understand how you feel, girl. This just for my YouTube channel and my Facebook reel. Yeah, it's all right. But so we were just talking about all of the things that are going on right now in our world that we're dealing with, everyday life. I was just at my workspace, and there was some drama going on, and we were trying to handle the situation when it didn't turn out well. Yeah, I don't deal with that because I don't have a job. Well, I'm still here. I just drink water, nothing more, nothing less. And that's usually how it goes for a conversation. The problem I have is that I talk, I use the same lines. It's like I'm on a show that is really repetitive. I'm trying not to be as repetitive. Some days are better than others. Like one day when I was talking to that girl, I let her speak for a long time, like probably like 30 minutes of talking. But the thing is that I know I might sound like a selfish guy, but I actually love women. I think women are the most beautiful creatures on the planet. More beautiful, like, even though men are normal, we're normal creatures, women are the most beautiful creatures on the planet. And every time, like, I every time there is one around, I just feel warmth to my heart. And it's complicated. When somebody disrespects women, I get really pissed off. And well, that's kind of like the better side, because I talk like that. That's my weakness, applying strength. Because overall, I have a sense of hatred for them too. I'm not gonna talk about my hatred for them all the time. I have love and hatred together. It's not just love, it's selfishness, because we're always selfish. We don't realize how selfish humanity is. Like, we put ourselves as this white knight attitude where, oh, this food is good for you, this is good for you, this is healthy, this is what you should do. This is we treat our bodies like they're fucking like like super healthy, 1000% healthy bodies, where even the smallest thing doesn't affect you, but it does, dude. You make one tiny mistake in the environment, butterfly effect happens, and we all get sick. You want that to happen? Well, stop thinking like everything is so perfect. That's the problem right now. We think utopian right now. And our utopian problem is we all think we can do whatever the hell we want to do when we can't. So if you really want to do something and really want to do what you want, stop acting like you can do whatever the fuck you want.